Welcome to the TLC Talk, a podcast by Ohio 4-H Teens. Hello, everyone. My name is Wyatt Morrow, and I'm the Communications Committee Chair on the Ohio 4-H Teen Leadership Council. This interview is with Emilee Bowling. She is a Community Service Committee member on the Ohio 4-H Teen Leadership Council. Emilee, if you want to give an introduction of yourself.
Okay. Hi, my name is Emilee Bowling. I am a first year member of TLC. I'm from Gallia County and I've participated in multiple different county opportunities along with 4-H. I want to say this is my third statewide opportunity that I've participated in. So my county opportunities, they are being a member of the Car Teens team. I'm a member of my county fair board, and I'm also a camp counselor through my county.
So, can you talk a little bit more about car teens? I feel like a lot of counties don't have car teens. So, can you just talk a little bit more about what that program is and what you guys do?
Yeah. So for the Car Teens program that I'm a part of, I would say, like a leader of it. So I've participated in this program for, I believe this is my fifth year teaching it. So what Car Teens really is it's a program that helps like teen drivers keep points off their license for like if they get in like a little fender bender or if they get caught like if they get a citation basically, and when they get sent to this program it keeps them from getting the points put on their license from that. And I mean they still have to go through like the whole court system and then pay their tickets, but it keeps them from having points on their license in the future.
Gotcha. That seems really interesting, like a really interesting program because, that's not like something that, you see a lot of 4-Hers doing is, kind of helping with those kind of programs. So that's really cool that you guys get to help out and educate teen drivers on safer driving. So that's really, really cool. You also talked about camp counseling. What are some camps that you've counseled?
So I've counseled, so this is my fifth year as a camp counselor through the Canner's Cave 4-H camp. I've done our beginner camp, our Cloverbud day camp, which is like based on like counties. And then I've done Cloverbud overnight at Canner's Cave, junior high, if I didn't already say it, and then a couple other state camps.
So with state camps, what are some of those state camps that you've helped with?
I've done both junior and senior shooting sports, and then the forestry and wildlife conservation camps.
So since those are kind of like specialty camps, what all do you get to do at like shooting sports? What's kind of the difference of like counseling at junior shooting sports camp and senior shooting sports camp?
So there's not really much of a difference other than like the span of it. Junior shooting sports is typically like your 2-3 day weekend camps, and then senior camp lasts normally like a Sunday to early Saturday morning, afternoonish. But there's not really much difference like between a state camp and like a county camp. Just like the normal like camp programming that we would have, it's turned into like shooting disciplines, and we do that 2 or 3 times a day.
Is there different skill sets that you teach at the junior camp versus the senior camp?
Do you mean like based on like their ages?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, there's a couple different disciplines, which is like levels of shooting or different like uh I want to say like the different firearms you would use. So for junior camp, it's more like your basic level, intermediate. There's a couple advanced, but for senior, it's more like there's obviously the beginner and like the intermediate, but it's more like the advanced, the marksmanship, and like the higher level ones.
Gotcha. And you also said that you've counseled at Forestry and Wildlife Camp. What all do you get to do there? I know it's like a little weekend camp kind of thing.
Yeah, it's normally like a Friday evening to a Sunday afternoon camp. So obviously we still do like the normal camp programs, but they bring in like specialists, like nature specialists. We've had visitors from Hawking, like the Hawking College. We've had like bug specialists come in, different reptile specialists, and we do a lot more nature focused things with like a side of camp activities versus camp where it's all camp activities and then different specialized programs.
Gotcha. Those all seem like super fun camps. I've only ever heard of a couple of the specialty camps that, we offer throughout the state, but those definitely seem like a lot of fun to, participate in and, counsel. So that's definitely really cool. Now, to get on to what we're here to talk about today, we're going to talk a little bit about what your committee did at conference. So can you speak a little bit about what types of community service projects that your committee kind of helped plan and facilitate all throughout the Ohio 4-H conference this year?
Yeah, so throughout the conference, we had our own booth, which was kind of like in collaboration with the fundraising committee. But for our booth, we made dog toys out of like scrap fabrics or fabrics that TLC had like from different community service projects in the past, and we took those scrap fabrics and made dog toys for local dog shelters or local animal shelters, and then we made a couple smaller ones for like the cats or like the smaller ruminant species, I believe. And then I believe members of the committee took them and passed them out to like their local shelters, and then a couple got dropped like in the Columbus area. And then for our luncheon activity, we did cards for educators. So on every table, there were like markers, pieces of colored paper, and guests were asked to write like or address and write a letter to an educator that had been like a huge part of their 4-H career, or just had been like a huge part of getting them there.
Absolutely. It's really great seeing all the different things that your committee has been able to do this year, and the different areas that you guys have been able to impact. We've talked to Kira, your committee chair. She talked a little bit about like the cookies that you guys made for firefighters over the holidays and those different projects. And it's really nice to see that you guys are able to impact so many people and so many different communities with that. My final question for you today is what advice do you have for members?
Okay, so I guess advice that like I would have for youth members and like even members my age is to get involved and like find out what opportunities there are for you to better your involvement or even help get more involved and help make 4-H Ohio 4-H like a better community for itself. Because like where I'm from like a smaller county that like there's not a whole lot of talk of like state opportunities other than like state fair. So like I didn't know what TLC was until I had saw it on like the Ohio State Facebook this year when I applied. And so I'm a graduating senior, so this is like my last year in 4-H, and it's my first year being able to be a part of TLC.
Absolutely. And I think it's really amazing that there is people like you that are able to, hear about these and really get that started for your county. And I think that, what you're able to do and what you're able to spread about TLC and Ohio 4-H, opportunities, I think that that's really great that you're able to kind of start that for your county. And, we really appreciate you for getting the word out there about TLC.
Yeah, I've had a really good time like joining TLC this year. Like I've met so many new people that like I've met at like the state camps that I've been to, but I've never gotten to be with them for more than like that weekend or that set time period, I guess, not time zone. And getting to know them on like a deeper personal level and actually figured out that I'm going to end up going to college with multiple of them. So it's great to know that I already have friends there that I've known for or that I've known through something that I'm passionate about.
Absolutely. And I definitely have experienced the same thing, getting to go to college with a lot of people that I've met on TLC. And it's really nice for, when you're starting your college journey and knowing that you have people there to support you and that you're really great friends with. So absolutely. I'm glad that TLC has opened that up for you. All right. Well, thank you so much for this interview today. This interview is with Alex Pringle. He's on the fundraising committee and is going to talk with us today about what his committee did at the Ohio 4-H conference this year. Alex, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Alex Pringle. I'm from Holmes County, and this is my ninth year in 4-H.
So, being from Holmes County, what are some county opportunities that you've been able to partake in?
So there's a lot of things that we can do in our 4-H club alone. So I do quite a bit in that, And then I also am on the junior fair board, and I also serve as a camp counselor.
Fantastic. So going on to your state opportunities, you've been on TLC for 2 years now. So what committee did you serve in last year, and what committee are you in this year?
So last year I served as a morale committee member. So we'd come up with fun activities to do throughout the meetings for the year, and just things like that to try to boost morale on the team leadership council. This year I'm on the fundraising committee. So we come up with different shirts and sweatshirts ideas in our committee, and then we run them by Sarah, and then that comes back, and we're able to sell those during conference and during the state fair.
So going on more about your opportunities, you have partaken in a national opportunity. Can you talk a little bit about what that opportunity is, what you got to do?
So yes, so I went to CWF in Washington, D.C. We learned a little bit more about citizenship, and then we also got to do a little touring around Washington, D.C.
Fantastic. So to kind of get into what we're here to talk about today, about what your committee did at conference, can you tell us a little bit about what the process was like to kind of start designing those materials and figuring out what items you were going to sell, at conference and state fair?
So yeah, so we had a lot of ideas that we tossed around during our committee meetings. We had, I'm not sure exactly how many, but there was plenty. So we tried to narrow it down from how many we had of like what exactly we wanted to sell. So we narrowed it down to sweatshirts and t-shirts. And then after that, we came up with a design that we would like to put on both of those. And then we sent it to Sarah to make sure that it was approved and everything. And then from that, it just got printed and everything. Got a copy of what it was going to look like, and then we got our shirts and everything.
Was it interesting to kind of figure out how you guys were going to like price point them? Was that like a challenge? Like what all went into that kind of decision process?
Yeah. So I mean, it's something that you want to make sure you're making a little bit of money on, but also you don't want to get it too high where nobody's going to buy them. So you got to find that nice median that that people are going to want, but you're still not losing any money on it.
So, each committee is kind of given their own binder. Were you guys able to look into that binder from like past years of the fundraising committee to kind of see like where they had price points at?
Yeah. So we based off of last year because we kept it pretty similar to last year. I think we went up a little bit, but it's very similar to last year.
Fantastic. So my last question for you is what advice do you have for members that are watching this, maybe, speaking to your county a little bit, and the state program as a whole?
Yeah, don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. You're gonna grow as an individual with stepping out of your comfort zone and trying new things.
Thank you so much. That was great advice. Again, thank you for talking about what your committee was able to do at conference, what all went into that process. It's very great to hear perspective from, committee chairs and committee members and being able to see how, you guys are all able to collaborate to make our council, work all year round. And, especially with our fundraising and merchandising and all of that, we're extremely grateful for that on the council. So again, thank you so much.
Yep, thank you.
Stay tuned for more episodes coming soon on our channel.